Okay, we're going to hook up into this box. Here they have a broken switch in here. This is a broken switch. See, they just twisted the ground wires. They didn't put a wire nut on them. Okay, so we'll just cut all our wires off here. You can see how this melted wire here. So I'll flip it off. So here is a badly melted wire. See how it all melted in there? And you can see how badly this switch outlet is damaged. And we'll put this outlet back in. See how sloppily he put the wires around the screws? You can see where I cut them, and you can see how sloppy it was. And see how wide open the ground wire was around the green screw? So we're going to try to get okay, so we're going to have to take our drill bit here. We're going to try to see if we can pull that tab down. Yeah, I got it open. And our wire is coming in from the bottom, so we can use our drill and drill through here so we can snake this wire over into this box. We got through our 2x4 there. And let's see if we can snake our wire from this hole down into our box. It's going to be kind of tricky. Okay, I might have to drill another hole just below this to make it easier to go in. So we'll go right below it and through it. Just let it fall, you don't get upset. And we'll try again. Now we have more room in here to play with to get our wire to come over into our box. And then we'll get a flashlight. Okay, so I got my flashlight. Okay, I see it right there. Unfortunately, I can't grab it with that. But you know what? Don't get upset. Just keep playing until you get it. If you can't, you can't. You don't whining about it's not going to change anything. You whine, fuss and putz and curse and all that jazz. It's not going to help you. It's not going to get it in. So if you can't get it, you can't. That's all there is to it. You just leave it for somebody else then. Let somebody else do what you can't do. But it looks like I got it now. There it goes. We got it to come in. Let's push this slack in here so it's out of our way. If I can't get it in, I'm not going to fight with it and risk damaging the wires. So we'll be just thankful for what we have here. Just be thankful for what you have. Don't complain about what you don't have. So we'll use these push-in connectors here. Get all the insulation off of there. Make sure it's not too long. So I'm going to take a little smidgen off. And we'll put one in, make sure we feel our barb. We'll push it, make sure our copper comes up to the top and our insulation is down inside the yellow. We'll put one on our ground wire. Make sure our copper comes up to the end. Make sure it's the right length here. Push it in, make sure. There, our copper is up at the top and our insulation is up inside the yellow here. Make sure our copper gets up to the top here. See, our copper is up at the top. Now look, make sure I see my copper all the way up at the top, which it is. So now we can get our ground wires back into our box and out of our way here. So when we put our outlet in, they're out of the way of everything here. Now we'll put our white in with our white wire. Make sure it's not too long. It's the length we want right there. Push it in. Make sure you see your copper up at the top. white wire. Make sure our copper comes up to the top and our insulation's all up in the yellow here. Now I can push our, we'll get our black wire. Make sure it's a good length there, which it is. Push it up in, make sure our copper comes up to the top. Take off about an inch. I always put the wire around the screw, the direction our screw turns, like this. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. Make sure we don't get our insulation caught under our screw head. Here in the country I was born in, our outlets are polarized. Your black wire goes on the brass screw, which is the narrow slot. Your white wire goes on the silver colored screw, which is the wider slot. And your bare or green wire goes on that green screw. Okay, they had this wire around the screw the right way, so I'm going to just close that loop and make this a better connection here. strip this end for our Wago. Now hook up our other black wire. This end will go in our Wago, and this one will go around our screw. Well, I'll put this one on this silver screw here. Now just close the direction our screw turns. Make sure we didn't get our insulation under our screw head. And we didn't. Make sure it's tight. Take our black wire off of this one. Well, I love it when things break. So we'll just use a brown one and an ivory one, I don't care. See how they had the wire under the insulation under the screw head? That's no good. So we'll use our black tail off of this. See how softly that wire was around the screw? And we'll put our black wire around our brass colored screw here. Like that there. And put our... See the mistake I made? I did that on purpose to see if you were watching. I'll just take... I don't want to break this out because I don't have another one. Okay, we'll put it on our brass colored screw over here. So I'll put this white wire over here on the silver colored screw. There's our white wire on the silver screw. Now we'll put our black one over here on our brass screw on this one. And this will go in the Wago. So I take off about an inch. You always put your wire around the screw the direction your screw turns. There we go. We got our copper under the screw head all the way around. Our insulation's not pinched. Now we can hook our ground wires up to our outlets. And you always go the direction your screw turns. I love not being able to see. For some reason, it just doesn't want to get under that piece there. I can't figure it out. There it is. Now it is. There, now we got what we want. I'll just loosen it and pull back a little bit so it's under all the way around. There, now it's under all the way around and what we want. Now come over here, we'll get this one hooked up. This ground screw is on the bottom. There we go. Okay, we got a good connection there. Okay, now we can push our devices into our box. I'll push this black wire up into this Lego up here. And just make sure our copper is up at the top and our insulation is up in the yellow. Now we push our wires back into our box. get centered on our box here. Now we'll get our other ones to go in here. I was pushing on the connector, not the wire. Our outlet centered onto our box here. There we go. We got it all done. Let's see if we have a staple. We can get a staple up in here. If we have one, if we don't, we don't. I'm going to get all upset and bend out of shape if we don't have a staple. And it looks like I don't have one, so guess what? We're not putting one in right now. We'll put one in later. Peace. Thanks for watching. That is how to hook two outlets up in a double gang box here in the country I was born in. Okay, so let's get a staple up in here.